G'day guys, welcome to my first bat rep for 2014. It's actually using my Ogres. I did have a bit of a hiatus when it came to wargaming. Stopped tournament wargaming, especially with fantasy altogether for a while. Bit of a hiatus, and thought I'd slowly get back into it now that I've moved houses. So as you can see, I'm using my Ogre Kingdoms, which I plan to use for a tournament coming up. Whether or not it actually go is another story. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, I thought I'd try a different army, Ogre Kingdoms. I'm still getting the hang of it because I'm so used to orcs and goblins and just having so many units on the table. And compared to Ogre Kingdoms, where you have like a couple of big units and a lot less models, it's going to be a big challenge for me. So as you can see in my spells, I've got Bone Crusher, Bull Gorger, Brain Gobbler, the Maw. Personally like these spells, especially with the Law of the Great Maw. It just seems like it's a very combat orientated type of law, and I think it really suits the ogres. So anyway, mate of mine Lindsay, he's got Dark Elves. He's got the big Cold One Knight unit with the two RBTs on the hill there. He's the painted unit of Witch Elves there on the left. They're actually Sisters of Slaughter, and the Raging Hero models are the Witch Elves. I really like the Witch Elf models of the Raging Hero range. The new GW range is pretty good as well, but I don't think I can afford forking out that much money just to get that many Witch Elves and Sisters of Slaughter, which I probably want to use one of these days. Now, I can't remember every detail of Lindsay's army, but I do remember that he didn't have any wizards in his army. He did have a Highborn and a BSB, and he had the Ring of Hotek in there somewhere for that magic defense. So it makes up for the lack of magic that he has. Anyway, here we go. So first turn here, I've put up my scouts, the 4 man-eaters, along with the stubborn, and I think I play a little bit too aggressively with them. But anyway, they're looking down, bearing down on the Sisters of Slaughter, looking for that first turn charge, seeing what they can do against them. Now the man-eaters only have heavy armor and additional hand weapon. They do have a standard with a gleaming pennant. But what I did forget was that Sisters of Slaughter have a 4-up board in combat, so that it affects the impact hits, obviously their attacks and their stomps as well. So in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have charged them, but I really want to get really aggressive with these ogres, because that's what they do. Now, I've seen what repeated bolt throwers can do to Mournfang cavalry, especially when you've got 2 units of them. So they were my first choice for shooting with the Iron Blaster there. Taking out one, forced to panic on the repeated bolt thrower that lived, and it failed its panic test and wasn't able to shoot. So there was one turn that really got lucky with the shooting, and yeah. So in my magic phase, I'm casting Bull Gorger in the unit just to give him that extra strength. Now, a lot of you might be wondering why I would put extra strength on strength 6 on a strength 6 unit, but it goes towards the stomps. When the stomps are strength 5 against toughness 3 models, you're winning on 2s instead of 3, so that really does help. So the combat with the Sisters of Slaughter didn't really do that much. I did lose combat. Just that 4-up board was just so annoying. I'll tell you what, when you're relying on the impact hits and stomps, and he's warding them off every time, it's just it really does get to the unit eventually, especially when there's only 4 of them. They've only got heavy armor, so eventually all those attacks that the Sisters of Slaughter are getting off are eventually going to wear them down. So yeah, they did lose combat. Being stubborn, they did manage to hang around, and as you can see, he didn't really take that many models off from his units. So that 4+ ward save really came into play this turn. I'm not expecting the man-eaters to last another turn. I might be able to stick around if he rolls pretty badly, but I doubt that very much. And then on his second turn, there you go, his second turn charge with the executioners into the big unit of Ogres there. And this combat didn't go according to plan as well. I have to admit, like, I don't want to blame the dice too much, but they did bail out on me this time. Yeah, so his character with the sort of anti-hero is just wailed on the Slaughtermaster, and I just couldn't pass anything for the life of me. I did have a 5-up board, but the toughness didn't help me either. I had 2 characters in the unit, so he's strength 7, so and rerolls to hit, just absolutely pummeled him into the ground. Now made a bit of a rules mistake. When the Slaughtermaster actually died, I should have put the BSB in his place, but actually put a normal Iron Gut. So yeah, the BSB should have been able to attack the Lord. Don't know if I would have actually, because the Lord had a pretty good armor save and ward save from what I can remember. I think he had Armor of Destiny on the big guy. The rest of the executioners didn't really do that much. They did a bit. I think I might have removed 2 models or so. His BSB did a few damage as well, but when it came to my attacks, it just absolutely whiffed it. I think it's the green dice. I don't think the Ogres like the green dice at all. So yeah, I lost my Slaughtermaster early. The unit did manage to stick around because having the BSB there did help, but yeah, losing all that magic when I thought I had the leg up on magic, yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. Anyway, with this combat here, it's also another turn 2 charge with the Witch Elves onto the unit of Ogres. So many attacks, so many poison attacks. Parried a couple, but I still did lose 2 models out of that combat. The attacks from the Ogres took down a couple of Witch Elves, but it wasn't enough to win the combat, and unfortunately I did lose, and they were run down on the ensuing pursuit. Bit of a case of good luck, bad luck on one of my turns. I moved the Iron Blaster back, and with the Cold Ones threatening a charge, I had the Sabertusk just hanging around, and when he did his March test, he failed it. So he only got to move the 6 or 7 inches that Cold One Knights can make. So that gave me a bit of time with the Iron Blaster to, have one pot shot at him. Unfortunately, I misfired and rolled a 2, so the cannon on the Iron Blaster was gone for the rest of the game. Just my luck. And on that same turn, I was able to charge the Mournfang on the flank of the Executioners. Unfortunately, I did lose my BSB in that round of combat. On the bright side, did manage to win that round of combat thanks to the Mournfang with the impact hits and the stomps and all those beautiful attacks that they can do. And yeah, they ran away. So Executioners ran away. And I was able to chase them down with the Mournfang. So slowly bringing the game back. Now I'm missing a couple of pictures here, but what's actually happened after the overrun was that I had a Sabertusk on the left, just facing the Sisters of Slaughter, and I knew he was going to charge them, so I reformed the Iron Guts around, so once he declared a charge on the Sabertusk, I would flee, and I would be able to countercharge with the Iron Guts right after. Unfortunately, didn't run very far with the Sabertusk, and he rolled incredibly high with the Sisters of Slaughter and caught the Sabertusk, and he was able to reform in such a way where I wouldn't get a chance to charge the Sisters in the flank, and instead I had to face them front on. So that's what I did on my following turn. Charged the front, and once again it was an epic fail on the of the green dice, the Orc and Goblin dice. So I think I'll be changing dice with the Ogre Kingdoms, that's for sure. And the second picture that was missing was actually the charge that the Mournfang was able to pull off against the other unit of Witch Elves. Was able to hit him in the flank, overran off the table, And when they came back on the table, this is what they saw. They saw Sisters of Slaughter. I don't know. I was a bit scared because that 4-up ward is, man, it's deadly. So deadly. Whew. Anyway, I was hoping that he wouldn't charge, actually, but that's what he did. He charged the Witch Elves. I'm supposed to, stop my impact hits on them. But in an incredible turn of events, I was able to put a lot of damage onto them. The 2+ armor, sorry, and a 6+ parry just really helped me out big time. I was able to kill a couple of the sisters, enough to win combat. So I made my pursuit roll and I was able to catch them down. So the Sisters of Slaughter were gone. Such a big headache, gone just like that. And so I only had to worry about the Cold One Knights now, which managed to take down my Iron Blaster, which was parking itself in the bottom right hand corner of my table. In case you were wondering, the other unit of Witch Elves was already inside the Watchtower, so didn't really have that much that could take out the Watchtower because all my infantry units were gone. I've only got my Mournfang cavalry, which they lose their impact hits, and the real strength is really in the Mournfang cats. So yeah, all my plan was just to take down everything else that he had in his army. Also managed to take down the other RBT with the saber tusk there. So yeah, my plan was just to go for the Cold One Knights, which is what I did. Reformed, and yeah, I was able to get a charge onto them. So yeah, I was very lucky, and it was a very messy combat. I was very lucky actually. The impact hits on the first turn really did its job, and I think he rolled Snake Eyes for the first break test that he did, and then he had about 3 or 4 models left, so I had to do it the hard way. And unfortunately I did lose this game because the scenario of the Watchtower gave him an extra 600 points. So while I was able to take down most of his army, he still had that Witch Elves there, and of course the scenario and his characters. But I did lose my characters too early in the game, I think. I was a bit too aggressive with the Man Eaters, so I think I need to write out a more balanced list. I do like 2 units of Mournfang and 2,000 points. It's a very intimidating unit, but I need to make an army list that that plays in all phases of the game, not just the magic, not just the combat, but the shooting as well. So yeah, the final result was a 12-8 win to Lindsay with his Dark Elves. It was a very good game. It was actually very good to finally get back into playing. Much like this video, it's good to be doing videos again. Just so it's a new army, so I'd like to go back and review my games every now and again and see what I did wrong. It's a good way to record your mistakes and hopefully learn from that. So hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and we'll see you next time for the next Bat Rep.